standard of excellence has always been Cadillac, so be iconic and drive one. Free your Cadillac, Brownsville, Texas.
Ready to drive with confidence? Arroyo Driving School helps teens and adults become safe, skilled drivers. Our certified instructors teach the latest techniques to ensure you're prepared for any road. With quality vehicles and hands-on training, we give you the skills to drive responsibly. Get started today.
This summer, take a break with the family and visit the best beach in Texas. You're not building just a sandcastle. You're building memories. South Padre Island is the perfect place for fun in the sun. Book your summer getaway today. Visit sopadre.com.
My son Leo just graduated from high school, but also with his associate degree from Texas Southmost College at no cost at all. Not having that financial burden was so helpful to our family. That's 2 years we did not have to pay for.
All of my TSC credits transferred to UTRGV, and I am so grateful to go into my major debt-free.
South Padre Island. Enjoy endless activities for all ages. Then dance the night away with live music, savor fresh seafood, and discover unique food trucks and shop our charming boutiques. What are you waiting for? Escape the everyday at South Padre Island.
When you study local at Texas Southmost College, you can choose from over 50 associate degree programs, certificates, and workforce training programs, all at the most affordable cost in the Rio Grande Valley. Transfer your TSC credits to a university or start a new career, like Kat Gomez, who graduated from TSC and is now patrolling the streets of Brownsville and serving her community. Register now at tsc.edu/register and study local at Texas Southmost College.
Time to take a new look, and maybe your first look at Buick. If smart, hip, and affordable is for you, Buick's your brand. For your Buick, Brownsville, Texas.
At H-E-B, we have a great variety of quality meats. Whether you're planning a carne asada for the familia and amigos or a casual weeknight dinner for two, our H-E-B certified meat cutters will gladly customize your meat order with the best variety of cuts. H-E-B, here everything's better.
Truck Techs in Harlingen is your source for lifts, wheels, and tires. Talking trucks of any size, any model, and any year. Specializing in accessories with top-of-the-line products to bring that special look to your truck in a professional way. Lifts, wheels, and tires, with financing available too. Call today or stop by Truck Techs in Harlingen.
This summer, it's time to go outside and get some air. Explore a pirate ship. Or go horseback riding on the beach. And you can't forget about all the fun on the bay. South Padre Island has so much to do for the whole family. Book your summer getaway today. Visit sopadre.com. This summer, settle in and reconnect with one another. South Padre Island has so many great places to stay. Condos, resorts, and hotels. Oh my! Book your summer getaway today. And start or making memories poolside with the people you care about most. Visit SoPadre.com.
Fiber, business or home, take a look at what we do.
Elevation, AT4, AT4X, Denali. Case closed. For your GMC, we're professional grade.
This summer, it's time for mimosas and brunch with the girls. A beachside lunch with the kiddos. Delicious Bayside burgers. And world-famous fried shrimp with a cold one. South Padre Island has your breakfast, lunch, and dinner plans covered. Book your summer getaway today. Visit SoPadre.com.
Ready to drive with confidence?
What's up, everybody? We are back for Season 3, Episode 1 of Chalk Talk with Coach Tino Villarreal on a Thursday afternoon at 2 o'clock on campus at Brownsville St. Joseph Academy. As always, I'm Kevin Aro alongside the captain of the ship, Coach Tino Villarreal, our head coach and athletic director here at St. Joe. This is the Bloodhound Channel, as always, powered by Real Sports Live. We are excited and thrilled to be back, not only for another football season, but another school year as well. Coach, welcome back aboard.
Thank you.
Absolutely, Coach. So we're in, I think, the second week of school. We've already seen these boys put into work through the off season, through the two-a-days. We've seen the first scrimmage. We have the final scrimmage later this afternoon here at Canales Field. But, Coach, let's first talk about the off season and how that was with these kids. I know you and Coach Stumball pride yourselves on it, on being the most best conditioned team. Talk about the rigorous off season that these boys had.
Well, first of all, we have to be the most conditioned team because we don't have that many troops. But this offseason was great. You know, hats off to Coach Manny Stumball and Coach Andrew Soto. I mean, those guys have put in some serious time with the boys. And obviously, I mean, what can I say about the team? Since January, they've been in the weight room. We have an amazing strength and conditioning program. We've been conditioning all year long. It's not like we left that off to the end. Whether it's running the hill, doing some push sleds, doing band work, doing parachute running. There's always some way for us to improve. We've even done Vertimax training, indoor training, whatever it takes just to kind of get that competitive edge, because we find ourselves in a very interesting position, which is, we graduate a lot of seniors. I know we're about to talk about that, but how do you replace the senior class? How do you replace two D1 guys? You can't, right? It's not with people, it's by effort. And I think that we started that kind of early on since January.
Absolutely. There was a lot of things added to the off-season program, something some of these kids hadn't seen before. You like talk about the Vertimax and all of those different exercises that they did. Maybe go into detail on those. Those are some new additions you guys added to the off-season program.
Yeah, I mean, I think, congratulations and thank you to our Athletic Booster Club for helping us and be able to provide brand new weight room equipment. I mean, we pumped in close to $40,000 of equipment, additional equipment that we didn't have in order for us to be able to kind of get that competitive edge. It's not just about strength. It's not just about conditioning. It's about balance, speed, agility. It's about core strength. And so everything here is part of the program. So, when we hit two-a-days, that Midnight Madness, they're in much better shape than we've ever seen before.
Absolutely. And you yourself are starting year 11 here at St. Joe. I know you're 20 years plus into coaching, 22?
This is This is year 23.
23, right? So when you woke up first day of Midnight Madness, when you're kicking everything off, knowing that you're going into year 11 here at St. Joe, has that dawned on you just a bit that you're past the decade mark?
Now it has.
No.
No, I mean, it's actually flown by rather quickly. Make references to Dave LePere, Joey Navarro, Abraham Karam, and some of those names that we had from that original graduating class, Jose Martinez, and those are guys that I feel just graduated a couple of years ago. But when you really look at it, they graduated 11 years ago. They're in their late 20s. They're about to hit 30 years old. So it's really flown by, Kevin. I really, I don't know. I think that's why they say coaching and being around youth keeps you young. I think time somehow it goes by faster in real life than it does here. I feel like we only got here a couple of years ago, but yet you look back and it's been a decade.
Absolutely. And looking back to last year, switching gears back to the football side of things, you love to do spring ball here at St. Joe, and that was another thing that we were able to see firsthand. I thought there was a lot of positives coming from spring ball, and obviously with the new faces that we'll dive into later in the show. But what were some things that we learned and some good things that we saw from spring ball?
I think the excitement level to play football again. I think we had a great season last year, but one of the biggest highlights for me has been the freshman class. I mean, they're big in numbers, they're dedicated, they push hard, they work hard, and so all of off season, including spring ball, is just great to see our numbers back up, especially from the younger classes. But as far as from a football standpoint, I mean, yeah, you get all those games under your belt. Gavin looks phenomenal there in spring ball. We have had our couple of banged and bruised guys that we've had to kind of put on the back burner in reserves and getting them healthy for the season. So spring ball also highlighted a lot of new people in positions and really shed light that we have a lot of, not a lot, but a little bit more depth than I think because of the necessity. We've had a lot of guys just their numbers gotten called into the starting lineup, so they've gotten a lot of good quality reps up with the first group.
Right, and I think with this spring ball, the difference between this year and last year was this year there was a little bit more of a learning curve than last year. I think we had mentioned that you guys were already out there running plays and kind of just ahead of the curve, so it was kind of a retool. I never like to use the word rebuild. I like to use the term retool, and I feel that that's what the spring ball was, more of a retool for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, it helps having a quarterback with 23 games under his belt, right?
Yep, absolutely. Shifting gears, Coach. We had our first scrimmage last week against Gruya, and you and I talked after the game that there was a lot of things that we saw and a lot of things that we liked. I know we were a little undermanned, a little maybe doesn't justify it, but talk about the positives that we saw in the Gruya matchup.
Well, number one, Leo Hernandez at running back. That's a huge highlight. Gave us a little bit of burst that we hadn't seen in spring ball, meaning, Leo just has had a phenomenal offseason as well, a phenomenal summer. Got to see some guys on the line, on the front line and the back and on the defensive side of the ball that, they did okay. They did okay, knowing that we had about a couple of players out of the lineup, some starters that from last year, returning starters. It gave people a chance to compete, and one of the things that I really did like is that we showed up. We were physical, and I think that's a really a testament to that confidence that they started building in the weight room all off season.
Absolutely, absolutely. What are some key position battles that we've been from when two-a-day started up into the practices and the scrimmages? Right now, we're still in preseason. What are some key position battles that we've been looking at?
Well, I mean, the biggest one is definitely going to be at the linebacker position. We have a lot of question marks. We have a lot of guys vying for 3 linebacker positions, and so we kind of moving people in and out of that situation. So tonight against Porter, we'll get another clear look at really trying to solidify for next week, Raymondville, who the starting 3 linebackers are going to be. On the offensive line, we've had some patchwork there too. So I think tonight will also give us a real good look at what that starting offensive line is going to look like. Those are two of like the main spots. Obviously, our interior line, our defensive tackles. We know that we can kind of rotate in there, but that's also a questionable spot tonight that we're going to be looking at. Everywhere else, I think so far the guys that have been rotating in there will continue to rotate in there for at least the first good portion of the non-district schedule.
Right, and Jesus Ocio, he's really going to be the anchor along the O line this year. He's the senior, and other than that, there's a lot of newbies coming up, guys that are coming up, a lot of sophomores, some freshmen. So just talk about the youth, and you were an O lineman, and then how challenging that can be with linemen having to communicate, understanding their assignments and their alignments.
Well, we call it OODA loop here. OODA loop, observe, orient, decide, act. It's a military tactic that we hope our athletes kind of go through in their brain while they process plays. Observing the defense, orienting their communication and their footwork and what they're going to do, especially from an offensive lineman standpoint. That communication and those first steps are crucial. Youth, being young in that position, has been my experience that you can answer all the right questions on film. You can point out everything and do it right in practice. But once the lights turn on and you have a different color jersey and a guy you don't know playing at a different speed than what you practiced, that's where you kind of start showing whether you can handle piecing what's in your brain and piecing what you did in practice and actually making a reality in the scrimmage. So we had a lot of mental mistakes. Those are you call them mental mistakes. We had a lot of mental mistakes on the offensive line last week. And so today, we had a good week of practice too. It was short, but we had a good week. So today we're really excited about the opportunity to see if we clean up a lot of that mental game.
Just growing pains,
Yeah,
really,
so.
when you throw in
it's experience, right? The more you play, the more those repetitions, reps are king. You do something multiple amount of times, and eventually it just becomes second nature. But games, you can try to replicate it as best. We don't have the depth in our school to replicate game speed as best as possible in practice. So it's going to come with time, and sometimes we just hope we have enough time.
Right, and one guy that we can talk about, talking about the D line and the O line, is he's expected to play both ways. Is Reed Starkey, and I thought he's had a tremendous off season, and he's really come into his own this year as a senior.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so excited for Reed. I mean, I got to see him. I've watched him. He had his 6-year-old birthday party back here. So you look at that. That's 11 years ago. That's when I first got the job, and now he's a senior. He's a leader. We're going to depend on him heavily, but what a phenomenal offseason for that guy. He's had trouble putting on some pounds, some good pounds, and this summer I think he did that. He looks solid. He's worked out hard. His maxes went up everywhere. He's running like a 4.7 in the 40-yard dash. So, you look at a guy like that and you think, how can that guy play O-line? Well, because he's got not only the physical ability and the strength, but he's got the mental strength to do it too.
Absolutely, and we're looking at him as a tackle position, like he did off the edge.
Hope so. I mean, eventually, I think as we move forward and we solidify 5 linemen and we get some guys off the injury list, Reed's going to be our perfect tight end. I think he's going to be the perfect guy to kind of work in and out of that position on the tail end of that.
And the linebacker spot, it's going to be tough to replace a guy like Alex G, who I think he was second, or if not, he led the team in tackles with over 100. The linebacker position is very important, but I think in the secondary, there's a lot of athleticism there. There's some youth, but there's some really good athleticism there, and I think we saw some flashes with Mauricio Vega, with that big hit over the middle. We saw Tunde flash some athleticism with that interception. So just talk about the athleticism in the secondary.
Well, height, reach, and athleticism. I mean, I think Tunde is like 6'3", and Mauricio's 6'2". So when you put two big guys at safety like that like to come down and hit, and they're both pretty strong as well, but they're both sophomores. So, when you look at their experience and you look at their age, again, it's those kind of reps. It's the game reps. I mean, we can't get enough of getting them that kind of exposure and kind of flipping through this offseason and watching them progress as we push through September And the good thing is we don't start district till late October.
Right.
So we've got a good month and a half to really get some great experience behind those guys back there. But as far as athleticism, I mean, you have Andre Cristiano, you have Ezequiel Escamilla, you have JJ Camorlinga. We've got some new guys that are out there. I mean, even a freshman, Javi looks phenomenal out there. We're trying to get some guys to rep out there. Santi Cavazos, new addition to us. I mean, he's learning, and so I think we're going to be okay. But getting them to fit the scheme has been the challenge. It's not their athleticism.
Right.
We have some great athletes right now.
Right, and I think more so in sometime, at least in the secondary as a whole, there's a lot of athleticism, there's a lot of speed, and I know Santi had a really good spring ball, and I know the coaches were really excited to see him develop over the course of a season. Skill wise, on the offensive side, I mean, I just feel that as long as I've covered St. Joe, there's never any shortage of skill guys here at St. Joe. There's always plenty of receivers. Obviously, you lose a guy like Claudio, and you don't replace 40 touchdowns. It's what he did last year was insane. But you still have guys like Izzy, you have guys like Esse, JJ, who's going to be going both ways. Guys have Andre as well coming out of the backfield, and I think Leo, you mentioned earlier in the show, and I have told you this before when people ask me, what's the team going to do without Claudio? There's no Diego. Like hold on, we still got a quarterback. We still got guys on the outside. We still got guys that can make plays. And I had said, we may not need to hit a lot of home runs. We're going to get some base hits. But now I was telling Coach Drew the other day, I said, you know what? We just might hit a home run here or there with a guy like Leo who can have that home run ability.
Yeah, we have that spark. And again, I mean, with Gavin, because we depended on Claudio so much, we never really cut Gavin loose. And people forget that he's a dual threat guy. We didn't distribute the football as much as we plan to do this year. So Esse, Izzy, and even Luis Solesi, Tunde, guys that are out there, JJ and Mao, they all have something where they can all be electric in their given right as well. And so I think the way you replace 40 touchdowns is by splitting that between seven, 8, or 8 guys that can handle that load. But some will step up, and as the season goes on, and I know they'll step up to the plate and shine.
Absolutely, and like I said, having a guy who can hit the home run ball, that's always good to have in your back pocket. And the guy like Andre, who we talked about last year, how he, without any question, he moves to fullback. He filled that role really well. And, offensively, it was a very different year for St. Joe, running the football a little bit more than you traditionally do. What can we expect this year? Obviously, with not, giving the kitchen sink, but just kind of an idea in a nutshell.
I mean, my job is to tailor the offense around our weapons. And last year, obviously, Claudio was the ultimate weapon. I think that having him around and not feeding him the ball 40 times, would have not been a smart situation. I think not distributing the football this year would not be a smart situation. So it's in trying to get creative to give everybody touches and looks during the game, so that we can maximize the potential of multiple weapons that we have. So we're going to be a lot more diverse as far as the sets. We're going to be a lot more creative as far as how we do what we normally do, but adding a couple of wrinkles to it just to open it up a little bit more.
Absolutely. And Gavin, like I told you after the scrimmage last week, that he was the best athlete on the field, and it wasn't even close. And just the way he moved and he throws, the way he threw the ball.
And his confidence level, right? I think Gavin, after 23 games and a couple of off seasons, and I mean, I see the level of confidence that he has, not just in himself, but in his role as the captain of the ship. I mean, that guy is the guy that steers the ship, and we need a steady hand there. And I think that he's going to deliver this year. I'm very excited to see Gavin lead our team and watch how far we can go.
Absolutely. That's Coach Tino of Villarreal. I'm Kevin Arrow. We're going to take our first break. When we come back, we're going to take a look at the schedule, and then we're going to break down what I like to call the dress rehearsal, tonight's final scrimmage against Brownsville Porter, as the JV will take the field at 6, varsity following it up at 7. When we come back, this is Chalk Talk with Coach Tino of Villarreal.
Ready to drive with confidence? Arroyo Driving School helps teens and adults become safe, skilled drivers. Our certified instructors teach the latest techniques to ensure you're prepared for any road. With quality vehicles and hands-on training, we give you the skills to drive responsibly. Get started today.
Back with Coach Tino Villarreal. This is Chalk Talk Season 3, Episode 1. A lot of the kids were excited that the shows are all coming back and everyone's kind of just getting back into routine with the TikToks and the media days and with Coffee with Coach O, Luncheon with the Hounds. Yesterday we changed it up a little bit. We had a cheerleader, a sweetheart, and a female cross-country runner, so mixing it up a little bit. Some of the football guys, what about us? Hey, I had a football guy on last week. We'll get you guys next week. We're spreading the love, man. Everyone here, we're all in the same boat. We're all in the same family. So we're excited for another year. Coach, how was your off season?
Personally,
Yeah, just in general, how was your off season? I mean, I know you're big.
and Coach Stamball really allows us to be, to do a lot more things. And so I was busy during the off season, but definitely present. I thought our spring ball was excellent. Um, the highlight for me is always that Maxwell camp that we take with the kids.
Yeah, that's fun.
And so going out there and camping and team bonding with our team, I think is ultra important and something very special that only happens here at St. Joseph Academy.
Absolutely, Camp Maxwell certainly a lot of fun. But back to the football field, Coach. Looking at the schedule, obviously the opponents stay the same, and we are in a realignment year. So in January we'll make that trip down to Edinburgh. But the Bloodhounds will start the regular season against Raymondville. So that'll be on August 29th. That'll be a road game. The Bloodhounds will have their home opener on September 5th against Brownsville Veterans, so that game's going to be a lot of fun. A couple of road trips in here, not as many as last year. I know the district matches, we don't start district up until October 24th. That'll be here against Victoria St. Joe. The lone road trip in district play will be on Halloween night at San Antonio Christian, and then we'll be back home on November 7th here against San Antonio St. Anthony. So of the games, Coach, I mean, which ones we looking forward to the most? I mean, I know there's a lot of exciting games on the schedule.
In a schedule like ours, Kevin, I mean, you look forward to every single one of them, right? I really, obviously we have certain teams that traditionally for the kids they get hyped up or they think that they're the toughest opponent we're going to face, but that's player stuff. I mean, for me as a coach, I set the schedule for a reason. I think they're all amazing opponents. They all bring different challenges for us to develop and grow and get us ready for district, right? Right off the top of my head, I mean, we've got Porter tonight, but what is one of my most exciting games? Traveling to Raymondville. They have a new coach. They have Will Littleton. Mm-hmm. He brings a lot of experience. He has Coach Lefevre. He has his dad, Bill, helping him. I mean, those guys, they know a lot of football. And I love Frank and everything he did for that program. But anytime you bring a change, it comes with a spark. It comes with that kind of new. It's like rearranging your room. Mm-hmm. It's the same room. It's just you rearrange a couple of things, and all of a sudden you get a different feel. You get a little level of new spark, right? So Raymondville is going to be tough. They've always been tough. They have amazing athletes, and so I think it's a phenomenal first test. So I'm really looking forward to the Raymondville game. I'm really looking forward to playing on Canales Field. We only have 4 home games this year, right? But one of them gets to be Brownsville Veterans, and that's right away at September 5th. So, you start looking at that. The excitement just continues. Traveling to Corpus Christi, that's an amazing challenge to be playing at Cabinus against Corpus Christi Carroll, who is a very, very well-coached team, very tough team that came down to the wire last year. Could have gone either way. So, I mean, you just keep going down the list. And they just keep getting more challenging. And when you're a small team like us and you suit out about 25, 27 guys in the varsity, all I preach to the guys, are we in good enough shape and are we mentally tough enough and are we physically strong enough to withstand week in and week out of just playoff environment football?
Right. Absolutely. And you mentioned going to Cabinus. At least from what I can remember, has football ever played at Cabinus?
We've
Right.
never played at Cabinus. There's a couple of things that have never happened, right? And so we're excited for those opportunities. I think we've worked our butt off to get there. And so, I'm excited to see our kids play in that kind of environment. That's kind of, if you're not from Corpus Christi and you're not playing Corpus Christi, Valley teams only get a chance to play there if you're in the 3rd or 4th round of the playoffs.
Right. And then we get to go to Edinburgh, my hometown. So I know for sure St. Joe's never played at Richard Flores Stadium or even Cats back in the day. So that's going to be a lot of fun, a little bit of a homecoming for me there. I don't know if you knew, but that's where I started my broadcasting career.
That's awesome.
I announced my
didn't.
I
That's
announced
awesome.
my I announced my first game there at
Yeah,
Cat Stadium.
and then
Then
we get to go back. I mean, we play La Feria here at home, but then
hmm
we're back to Tarpon Stadium.
Yep,
So again,
classic.
just looking at all of that, our only road game in district is over at San Antonio Christian. We
hmm
have not had a lot of success on that field. They are the favorite team, so talk about a big circle on your schedule. I'm really looking forward to traveling up to San Antonio Christian this year too. I mean, so again, it's a week in, week out situation for us.
Absolutely. Shifting gears, looking forward to this evening. If you can't make it, we encourage everyone to come out. It's free admission here at Canales Field. The JV's at 6, the varsity's at 7. You can watch it on the Bloodhound channel. We have some new recruits that joined the Bloodhound Media Club, so we're excited tonight to get that broadcast going. But the dress rehearsal is what I like to call a lot like the old school third preseason game in the NFL, and just kind of this is one last snippet of what we may see come the regular season, coach. And maybe what are some things that you as a coaching staff are knowing that it's our last scrimmage, some things we need to clean up, let's start with offense this time.
Um, you know, we just kind of went over it. I think it's the communication part. It's the things that we can handle, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's we played a little too high for my liking last week. So can our offensive line play a little bit lower with our body position? Um, Second thing that I think is very valuable and very important for us is looking at making better and faster decisions as far as from Gavin's standpoint, right? Instead of looking for what you want to throw, just taking what the defense gives us, putting our shoulders forward and pumping our feet from a running back standpoint, running some cleaner and crisper routes from a receiver standpoint. I mean, it's all these little things from an offensive and from a defensive standpoint, which I assume is going to be the next question. It's the same thing. Can we fit the right gap? Are we reading the backfield or are we reading the defensive lineman? I mean, there's a lot of keys that we are not following, and they can get disguised because when you look at people have to understand scrimmages don't matter. Like it doesn't
Right.
matter if you win or lose a scrimmage. I always tell people you win a scrimmage if you walk out of there without any injuries. That's
Yep.
the only way to win a scrimmage. But everyone can lose the scrimmage regardless of what the scoreboard is. And some people, sadly look at our scoreboard last week and see that on the scoreboard the Bloodhounds had a higher marker than La Grulla, but I didn't think we played well at all. And so tonight is going to be a big test for who we're going to become. But also tonight, even though it's a dress rehearsal for the guys that were injured, for most of them, tonight's their only rehearsal
Right.
before Raymondville. And so I'm
Right.
excited to see what these guys that we know, we knew what they could do last year,
Mhm.
but this is their only shot this year, 2025, that they get to just, have that glorified practice before we load a bus and go do it for real at Raymondville under a new coaching staff with a team that's dying to be 1-0, right, under that program. And so we've got a target on our back, and I'm very well aware of that. So tonight, we're looking for that on top of keeping that intensity,
Mhm.
keeping that aggression. We have to play physical football. That is the new brand of Bloodhound football. It's not just finesse, it's physical football, it's aggressive football, and I'm excited for that opportunity tonight.
For you as a coach, and some coaches, they look at it one way, they look at it the other, and that being that tonight, given it's the final scrimmage, are you a believer in uh, if the game goes really well and you check all the boxes and you can feel that, okay, we're going to take this momentum and write it into week one, or if the game doesn't go as planned, coaches, some of them fear that that rut might carry with us into week one, or do you just, hey, it's a scrimmage, you can always flush it and get it into the next week? What side do you stand on? Because I know there's two different ways coaches look at it.
Well, I'm going to give you a third way. I really don't care about any of those outcomes because it has nothing to do with whether we're scoring or winning or they're scoring or winning. It's about our performance. It's
Right.
about our assignment. It's about our job. And so no matter whether we win or lose, things can't be going well or can't be going not well. We're always looking at improving how we play. So week in and week out, my players know the score doesn't matter to me. How we're doing out there is nothing to do with the fact that even last year at our peak, we were still criticizing our play. We were still criticizing our ability to do our job correctly. There's always in football a way to try to be perfect. And that is kind of the bloodhound mentality. And so today, I mean, for me, you know, I already expect the fact that we're in week 3. No one's going to be perfect. We have so much room for improvement. Tonight is just about, can we become better than we were the version of us last week? That's it. But if we check those boxes, Kevin, we got to get even better than that. And so I'm also not, and I'm a disbeliever of people who say, well, it's a dress rehearsal, so I think I've seen enough. Let me pull my guys out. I don't have enough guys to have the luxury to pull them out. I need to see them play, and I need to see them play a full game and get out there and play 2 ways and improve and see what they do when they're fatigued and see what they do when it's a little too hot. So I know that there's some coaches that feel differently and even bench some players like the NFL. Newsflash, you're not in the NFL. You don't have that luxury. You're coaching high school kids, and I don't care if you're a 6A or a little private school like us. If you really want to buckle up and play some physical, aggressive football, you put your guys in there the whole time, and you treat this like a game, and you treat this as a best way for you to watch your players in all facets show what they're made of and see if they can improve.
Absolutely, 100%, Coach. Last year, obviously, was the a banner year for the Bloodhounds with the district championship, winning a playoff game, and winning all those games against veterans and beating all those playoff teams. PI. It was an exciting year. What can the fans expect from the Bloodhounds in 2025?
Same thing. Our standard is high, and I know that. And I have no problem saying that what I expect and what we expect and what we're working our tails off for is we're expecting the same thing. We're expecting to come out here, and we now know that we can compete against these schools, and we can do it as a program, and we could do it as a school. I love Claudio. I love Diego. I love my seniors. I love Emil. I love all those guys that graduated last year. We love them. And guess what? I love these seniors too. And I think that we have the ability to provide the Bloodhound community with the exact same outcomes as we saw last year. And our job is to improve those outcomes, right?
Yep.
Like, we can't be satisfied saying that we were 9-1 last year in the regular season. Our job's to go 1-0 every week. And I believe we have the team to do that. It's not enough to win a district championship. Even though we're not the favorite team this year, we got to win a district championship again. We've got to win a playoff game. Last year, we got stopped in our tracks in the second round. We got to win a second-round playoff game. So for me, the fans can expect a team that's hungry, a team that is well-coached, a team that is well-conditioned, and a team that is going to do whatever it takes to provide a much improved season, even though a lot of people, including people out in the media, people out in the magazine world that see the seniors we graduated, they're not betting on us, but we always bet on us.
100%. So the Bloodhounds will open up the regular season August 29th at Raymondville. That's down in Willacy County. And then the Bloodhounds will be home for their home opener September 5th against Brownsville Veterans, which is a highly anticipated rematch. But for right now, Coach Carlos Uresti and the Porter Cowboys are what's in front of us. So we're hoping that tonight that the kids come out healthy and injury-free on both sides. Coach, speaking of the community, the volleyball team picked up a win. They had their home opener earlier this week in straight sets against Jubilee. And the cross-country team did really well in their meet this past weekend at the Friday Night Lights Invitational. So I know cross-country has a meet tomorrow in Mission. And then Coach O and the girls, they actually have a bye this weekend. So I know Coach O and the team she goes, man, we hit the ground running with 2-a-days. We had scrimmages, we had tournaments, and now this second half of the week, we're just going to kind of peel back just a little bit and then get ready for San Perlita next week on Tuesday. So a lot going on here at St. Joe. And again, the games this evening will be at 6, the junior varsity at 7 will be the varsity against Brownsville Porter. Coach, any final thoughts before we wrap up our first episode?
No, I'm super excited for the school year.
Yep.
Congratulations to our volleyball team and our cross-country runners. We're real excited. We got to see our cheer squad and our dance team over at Midnight Madness as well. So I know that they're excited and they're eager, and it's a kickoff to a phenomenal year, right? The school year gets kicked off with all these fall sports, and there's nothing like starting on the right foot with great performances from the cross country team and great performances from Coach O in her first official home game, and a phenomenal offseason they had as well. We're finishing our offseason, and we hope that as a football program, next week when we try to drive up there to Raymondville, that we also start with 1-0, because we're dying to come out here with a win for our first home opener against Brownsville Veterans. I think that they might do the same thing, and we might find ourselves in another classic. But we got to take care of business starting tonight first to improve, and then get ready for Raymondville.
The Coach Stumble hammer last year was Plan A, go 1-0. There ain't no Plan B.
There is no Plan B.
There is no Plan
still
B.
no Plan B this year, guys.
All right, folks, that'll wrap it up. I'm Kevin Naro. As always, Coach Tino Villarreal here to my right. So it'll be every Thursday at 2 o'clock live here in Coach Tino's office on campus at Brownsville St. Joe. We're looking forward to seeing you guys throughout the year, all the way from football, baseball in the spring, and everything in between, from Coffee with Coach O, Lunching with the Hounds, Chalk Talk with Coach Tino Villarreal, and everything and then some on the Bloodhound channel. All right. Well, that'll wrap it up. We'll see you guys next week. This has been Chalk Talk with Coach Tino Villarreal.
Ready to drive with confidence? Arroyo Driving School helps teens and adults become safe, skilled drivers. Our certified instructors teach the latest techniques to ensure you're prepared for any road. With quality vehicles and hands-on training, we give you the skills to drive responsibly. Get started today.